Hi, today we're making Gourd Girls. They're made from shards of gourds, beads, and wire, and a little bit of acrylic paint, some varnish to go over the acrylic paint. I think that's it. So these are Gourd Girls. Some of them have hair, some of them wear hats. We're going to do a little of both. See you in a little bit. The Gourd Girls start with shards, scraps of gourds. And I just cut them up into different shapes because women are all different shapes and sizes. Therefore, Gourd Girls are all different shapes and sizes. You're going to need beads, a lot more than that. And you're going to need some craft wire, 20 gauge, 22, 24, somewhere around there. It's just inexpensive craft wire you get at Michael's or Walmart. You're going to need some tools. You're going to need some wire cutters and some pliers. I don't know what these pliers are called, but they work for all kinds of things. You'll need white acrylic paint. You'll need some varnish, gloss varnish. It could be brush on or spray on, whichever you prefer. And then for the colors, I used Lumiere. Oh, let's see if we can get that. There we go. Lumiere paints. They're wonderful. These are just sample size. They come in an exciter pack. They're wonderful. They last forever. Okay. First step. I cleaned the gourd inside and out, and I drilled 5 holes. 1 for the head, 2 for the arms, 2 for the legs. Now we're going to paint them white. You don't have to paint them white. You can leave them the natural gourd color and just put a finish over it to make it look pretty. It's entirely up to you. I like painting them. I like the colors. So first we're going to paint them white to seal them up nicely and protect them from all the little buggies that like to eat gourds. So I'm not going to bore you. I will fast forward this, and you don't have to watch me paint them white. Here we go. They're all painted, both sides and on all the edges. Next step is we're going to add some color to it. And I like I said, I like Lumiere paints. They're acrylic metallic paints, but you can use any type of acrylic paints you want. You can either use color on just the front, or you can use it on the front and the back. It's up to you. That beautiful blue. That is called pearl blue. Now when you're painting, sometimes you get paint in the holes that you drilled, and that's okay because it's just really thin and you can poke right through the holes with the wire. Here are 2 of the shards that I painted. I'm going to gussy them up a little bit and add some dimensional fabric paint, just because I like the texture of them. I love polka dots, so we'll make some big polka dots on this. And I think I'll put some stripes at the bottom with black. Let me see, I need to find it. There it is. Again, it's dimensional paint, dimensional fabric paint. You can use any color, any type of paint you want, or you can just leave them plain. You don't have to gussy them up at all. It's entirely up to you. Okay, that's good for that one. Now let's see, what am I going to do on the other one? I've got this Gold Deco Color Premium Prime Premio. It's basically gold paint. It's pretty fun to work with, but you got to shake it up. Listen for the jangles. Let's see, that looks nice. I think I'm going to make it into a tartan. Design. There. Boy, that's a cool pen, but it sure does stink. Okay, now by the magic of video, I have one that's all dry and ready to go. So I'm going to take some of my craft wire, I cut off a piece about 14 inches long, so the piece for the head needs to be a little bit longer. And the bead I'm going to use for a head is this nice piece of turquoise. I believe it's a Kingman turquoise. It's quite pretty. And there, went right through. To secure that, you kind of pinch the wire so it molds around the gourd, and then you twist for about half a centimeter or so. Get a good secure connection there. Just a minute, I'm going to come back with more beads. Okay, the beads I've chosen for this project are some, I don't know what these are called, but they're pretty cool looking. They're trade beads, I believe, in all different colors. And then some clear, large seed beads. So, first thing I'm going to do is give this lady a neck. I'm going to clip these so that they're even, because it's easier to get the two wires into the one hole. So I'm going to use two of these trade beads for the neck. These beads are glass, and they're a funky shape so that they fit together beautifully. Okay, now for the head. It's important when choosing your beads that the holes are a little bit bigger than you would think, because you need to get both pieces of wire through. Okay, now I need to find a hat for her. I'm going to use this nice piece for a hat. I'm just going to slip that on, just like the others. They are very chic. Now I'm going to take one of the trade beads and put it over one of the wires, not both this time, to kind of hold her hat on. Now I'm going to tie the wires, one knot, one pull, not two knots, and that holds that hat and head and neck on very nicely. Now for the hanging part, I'm just going to make a double knot up here at the top. Now you may need the 2 pair of pliers to pull this snug, because it's a little tricky. The wire's slippery. Okay. Now once you get that nice and snug so that you feel confident it's not going to give out on you, you take one of your pliers and you use it to, we don't want anybody to get stuck by the wire, so we're just going to roll it up into a nice little decoration. Do that to both sides, and that way you don't have to worry about puncturing anybody with the wire. I suppose you could do, if you didn't want to use the wire, you could use some kind of string, but again you have to make sure that you can get 2 of them through the holes of the beads, so you just have to be careful of the size of the holes of your beads. I like the wire, it works well. Now I'm going to do, the last piece of wire is about 14 inches. I'm going to make this one about 10 inches for the arms. And you do for the arms like you did for the legs, or for the head. You just push it through the hole. Try to make it as even as possible. Push down so that the wire molds around the gourd, and just give it a couple of twists. The beads will hide the twists, so you don't have to worry about that. Again, I'm going to trim these ends so that they're even. Now, let's design the arms. I'm going to use, again, these beautiful beads. I'll put 2, I like these beads, so I'm going to use these mostly, and just the white beads for an accent, or the clear beads for an accent. So, use 3 of them because they're small. You can make the arms as long as you want. You can make the legs as long as you want, or short. You can make these. These are pretty big for Gourd Girls, but you can make the Gourd Girls any size you want. Of course, you'd want to alter the size of beads you use. If you use small, if you make small Gourd Girls, you need small beads. As long as those beads have a big enough hole. Okay, I'm going to use just one for the hand. I'm going to take one clear bead, put it on one wire, and tie a knot to secure it. Again, you might want to use your pliers here. That's why I have two pair, so that I can grab hold of the wire nicely and tighten it. Now for this one, these are too long to make the little twirly, the little coil, so I'm going to trim them off to about, I don't know, an inch or so. And I'm going to coil them again. I do the same thing for the other arm. I'm going to do the same thing for the legs. And there we go. I like to test these. If the little end is sticking out, then I push them down a little bit towards the beads. Okay, and by the miracle of video, you get the two arms, two legs. You can use different shaped beads for the hands and the feet if you want. I made this head out of Fimo, out of polymer clay. For the hair, instead of the hat, you just simply take some different color of wire, maybe 5-6 inches, wrap it around something small like a paintbrush, and tie it on with the loop, with the extra wire that you use for the loop at the top of the head. And that's how you make the hair. So, there's some Gourd Girls. Have a good time making your Gourd Girls. Be creative, be kind, be wonderful.